Imagine this. The smarter you are, the more likely you are to get the wrong answer to a simple question. Not because you're careless, not because you lack information, but because your intelligence works against you. That sounds impossible, right? Well, a fascinating research study proves that it's not only possible, it's disturbingly common. And today we're putting it to the test on the streets of America. Build curiosity. There's this one problem, a puzzle about a skin cream that has haunted researchers for years. On the surface, it's straightforward, but when asked to reason through it, the more numerate, the more analytical, the more rational you are, the more likely you are to get it wrong. Why? That's exactly what we're going to find out. So, I called my friend Wiley and asked him to hit the streets and pose these very questions to everyday people, from skeptics to students, from the casual to the confident, and see what happens. Introduce the setup. In a fictitious study, people with rashes are split into two groups. One uses a new skin cream, the other uses nothing. After 2 weeks, researchers count how many rashes improved and how many worsened. The results are laid out in a simple table. Then comes the key question. Did the cream help or hurt? Seems easy enough. But here's where it gets tricky. Most people scan the table and land on the intuitive answer. The one where the biggest number screams, "It worked." And who can blame them? We're wired to trust what stands out. But those who pause, breathe, and actually do the math uncover a much more surprising and uncomfortable truth. Reveal the twist. 2 on 3. The cream, it turns out, actually made the rash worse. Wait, what? How? When you look proportionally, the control group, the one that used nothing, saw significantly more improvements than the cream group. So doing nothing was better than using the new product. This is the first sign that our brains might be hijacking logic in favor of what feels obvious. And it gets even weirder. Emotional hook. Dan Kahan, the researcher behind the study, tested over 1,000 Americans, measuring their ability to reason with numbers. He found what you'd expect at first. The higher someone's numeracy, their comfort with quantitative reasoning, the better they performed, until ideology came into play. Because when participants were shown the same exact table, but labeled with a politically charged issue instead of a skin cream, like gun control, everything changed. Escalate the conflict. Suddenly, the people with the highest reasoning ability, the ones with the sharpest minds, began to fall for the same trap. Why? Because the numbers now carried meaning, political meaning. When data suggested that gun control reduced crime, Democrats became more accurate and Republicans less so. Flip the data and the pattern reversed. Intelligence didn't make people more objective. It made them better at rationalizing what they already believed. And the effect was strongest among the smartest. Emotional revelation. Think about that. Our brightest minds, our most numerate citizens, weren't using their intelligence to seek truth. They were using it to defend their tribe. The very tools meant to help us see clearly are being turned into weapons of self-deception. And worse, we don't even know we're doing it. This isn't just about politics. It's about climate change, vaccines, fracking, you name it. The more emotionally charged the topic, the more your intellect becomes a tool of protection, not understanding. Powerful climax. This begs a haunting question. Are we really as rational as we think we are? Or are we just skilled storytellers, crafting narratives that make us feel safe inside our ideological cocoons? We like to believe we form beliefs based on evidence. But if that evidence threatens our identity, our belonging, our community, we reject it. Not out of ignorance, but out of a deep, ancient instinct to survive. We're not fighting for truth. We're fighting not to be left out. Resolution. So what can we do? The first step is recognizing this bias in ourselves, especially when we feel most certain. Because true open-mindedness isn't about agreeing with everything. It's about having the courage to be wrong. And maybe, just maybe, the smartest thing we can do is question how we use our intelligence. Because sometimes the sharper the mind, the deeper